In this video, I'll go through every single lineup I use with Deadlock. I don't really use wall lineups. If I do have some wall lineups in the video, you will see it, but it's mainly just going to be ult and Gravnet. You've probably seen a lot of these lineups from my Twitch, but if you haven't, stop by the Twitch. So yeah, let's get right into it. Now, let's start with the Gravnet lineups. So starting with the first lineup, you're going to get into like this little middle thing here of the metal square. You're going to aim for this little like roof tile here. You're going to go up until you hit this spike here. So you're basically just going to do this. And once you're here, you just do a jump throw like this. And then 3, 2, 1. Bam! It's gonna hit all the stairs pretty much. So anybody standing here can get spammed. Moving over to A side. My main lineup for A side with the Gravnet is usually just like you line up here. It doesn't really have to be precise. You can kind of wing it if you really want to. Then you have 3 different lineups from this one spot. So if we start with Jen, for example, you basically aim at this spike. You go a little bit to the left so you meet this one. And then you just jump throw it like this. And then this should land back Jen. Bang. Like this. For the next one, this is basically just going to target middle side. I don't really have like a call to describe it. What you want to do is you want to aim for this one again. Move a little bit to the right. In the middle between this spike here and this spike. So like this. And then jump throw. And yeah, this is basically just going to stun both Dice and Jen. This is probably the best one. If you want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, there's going to be another one that's even better in this section. Now for the last one, this is just going to hit Dice. So same thing, line yourself up in the wall. Aim for this spike. Go a little bit more to the right until you like get in the middle between these 2 spikes. Then you just jump throw. And this will basically on Dice. A second. Look at that. Now, for probably the most broken one I've seen so far. This wasn't made by me. This was made by a friend of mine in a Discord server called Mars. But what you want to do is you want to get into this like little pothole thing here. Move a little bit in front of it. So you like aim at the end part here. Then what you want to do is you want to go up until you meet the middle between these 2 spikes like this. And then just jump throw. If you do it correctly, what will happen is this. Yeah, so basically both Heaven here and Dice will get crouched, which is kind of insane. Because there's 2 different levels of height here. But yeah, that's pretty much all the Gravnet lineups I use for Ascent. As I said, like, you don't need a lot of Gravnet lineups to be very effective with Deadlock. Let's move over to Breeze. Now, moving over to Breeze, I really only have 2 lineups. One for A side and one for B side. So if we start with the one on A side, what you want to do is you want to get on top of this rock, standing like the corner of it. Make sure you don't like fall down a step. Then all you have to do is you see all of these like rusty spots on this sheet metal here. You want to aim for this one right next to the leaf. Then all you have to do is jump throw like this. And then bada bing, bada boom, it's going to land here. And it's basically just going to stop people holding close here with an op, holding this angle here with an op, etc. You get the point. Now, moving over to B side, this is just going to hit anything like backside. But basically, you want to get into the middle of this stone disc here. So stand like this. Then aim for the right part of this flower here. Go up until you meet this stone thing, like the corner of this stone thing here. So like this. Then all you have to do is jump throw. And then this should land backside here, like this. All right, moving over to bind. If we start on A side, if you get into the corner of this, like, wall corner here, it doesn't have to be precise. Then you aim in the middle of these 2 palm trees, like this. Go up until you meet this leaf, like the height of the leaf. And then you just jump throw like this. This should land inside showers. Go into the window. Land here. So anybody who's like peeking aggressively or holding the angle aggressively here will catch. All right, if you want to flush out an opera standing on truck here, what you can do is you can get into the corner of this wall here. Again, doesn't really have to be precise. All you have to do then is aim for the corner of this like little like electrical wire here. Line it up like this. See like how there's like a little edge to it here. And then all you have to do is throw it. You don't have to jump throw it. But this will basically land on top of Chuck here. So anybody holding this with an op, like this, will basically just get crouched. All right, moving over to B side, I only really use one lineup, and that's for stopping people in garden. So what you want to do is you want to get yourself close to these cipher mains over here, like this, like stand on top of the cipher mains. Then you want to aim for this little antenna thing here. Go up until you meet the light bulb, like the middle of the light bulb. So you do this, go up here, then you do a jump throw like that. And then this should go through the roof and land garden. Let's see. Yep. Like this. So anybody standing here with an op will get crouched, and anybody inside garden will also get crouched. But yeah, that's basically it for bind. Now, moving over to Icebox, I only really have 2 lineups here again. One for A, one for B. Because I don't really think you need a lot of lineups to be a good Deadlock player. But what you want to do is you want to get into this line here. Stand in the middle of it. Like this. Then you see how there's like this metal pane on the roof? You basically want to aim for where this wall meets the top of it. So like this, then you just jump throw. And then this will land pretty much all of rafters here where they're holding it with an op or whatever they might be doing. If you want, you can also just eyeball it. What I like to do at the start is just throw it like this. Doesn't really have to be precise. This will basically target backside so they can't hold it. You can't really go wrong on A side. Do a little bit with what you want. So yeah. Now over to B side, the one I use here is gonna hit the back of yellow, or at least close to the back of yellow. So yeah, you want to get into this like cross here in the middle of it, like this. Then you see how like there's these like rectangles here. You basically want to aim in the middle of these two, like so. And then all you have to do is jump throw, and then this will land close to back yellow, like this. And basically just get at everybody that's standing here or holding this, for example. Yeah, let's move over to the next map. Alright, moving over to Lotus. If you want to hit like the opera who's standing in this corner here, basically just jump on top of this box, get yourself in the corner like this. Doesn't really have to be precise. Then aim for you see how there's like a little spike here? Just aim for this and then jump throw. And then this is gonna land right here where the opera is standing. Now moving over to C side, here I don't really use a lineup, but when the barrier goes down, what you can do is you can immediately just run throw like this, and that's gonna stop anybody who wants to peek this angle here, right? So then your jet or your race can dash or satchel in and stomp on the little guy who's stuck here trying to take his net off. But yeah, that's basically it for Lotus. I don't have a lot of lineups for Lotus. Alright, moving over to split. If you get into the corner of this trash can here, then you count 1 2 3 4 5 lines of this building in the blue part here, and then you just throw it like this. This is just gonna hit rafters here. So if anybody's holding an op or anything similar to an op, they're gonna get crouched. Then your race or your jet can dash up and kill the guy who's trying to get rid of his net. Now for the next one, this lineup is basically gonna hit all of elbow. It was found by a friend of mine called Swag. Basically what you want to do is you want to get on top of this plant pot here, stand in the corner of it like this, then aim for the metal railing here. You want to aim for like where this pole meets the center of it, like this. Then just jump throw, and then this is gonna hit basically all of elbow in a second, like this. Pretty useful. Now for B side, I only really use one lineup, and this one doesn't really have to be precise either, but this is basically just gonna hit all of backside here. Basically you don't have to line yourself up with anything, just make sure like you're standing close to this Among Us thing here. Then you see how there's like this pole thing here? Go to the left of it a little bit so you get close to this building here. Then you just jump throw like this, and this is gonna hit backside in a second, like this. So yeah, basically all of backside. So then what you can do, you can ask your friends to spam through this thing here with a vandal, because he's kind of stuck and he's gonna make a sound, right? And hopefully get a kill. But yeah, that's pretty much it for split. All right, moving over to sunset. Here again, I'm only gonna have 2 Gravnet lineups because I only really use 2 Gravnet lineups. But yeah, if we start with A, if you get into this corner here, you go up until you meet this thief right here. Doesn't really have to be precise, but go a little bit out from it like this, then jump throw, and then this is gonna land default in a second, like this. So anybody standing default will be Gravneted, and then you can ask your breach, for example, to aftershock this, and he will be dead. Another good one for Link here is not really lineup, but just throw it to the window. This is gonna be really good as well for anybody who's holding this angle. All right, moving over to B side. This one is gonna be the most complicated one, but it still isn't really hard. So what you want to do is you want to line yourself up with the top step here on the stairs, get into this wall. Then you see how there's a line here and there's a line here on the tile. You want to get yourself in the middle of it like this. Then all you have to do is jump throw, and then this is gonna land backside, because you know every single cypher main on the whole universe plays backside. And then they're gonna be stuck here, and then you can just ask your teammates for some utility, either race nade him or to breach aftershock him. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's probably the best one on B side though. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all the Gravnet lineups I use. Let's move over to ult lineups. All right, now moving over to the ultimate lineups. If we start on Ascent, if we go to A side, then there's 2 main lineups I use. Sometimes I don't really like using them, but if you really want ult lineups, here you go. So if we start with the first one, this is just gonna hit anybody standing heaven here with an op. So what you want to do is you want to line yourself up with this bottom step here. Then all you have to do is aim for this like tile here and the roof. Then this is gonna hit anybody standing heaven here with an op, holding this angle here. Now the next one is for post plant, but basically what you want to do is you want to plant spike default like this, and then when they start to defuse it, you want to line yourself up with the wine bottles here. Ult, and then you want to aim at the bottom of this little satellite thing. I don't know what it is. I don't really care. But that's basically gonna stop anybody who's trying to defuse the spike here, pretty much. All right, moving over to mid. If you stand like between this wall and this wall, and then you aim for this middle part of the lamp here, like so, and then you shoot it, and this is gonna capture anybody standing top mid. All right, for this next one, this one is gonna hit short. So basically, what you want to do is you want to line yourself up between this wall and this wall again. Doesn't really have to be precise. Stand close to these house here. Then all you have to do is aim for this little slope here in the roof like this, and then you're basically just gonna hit anybody standing short. This is really good if somebody's opping, for example. All right, let's move over to the next map. All right, moving over to bind. Here I only really have 2 ultimate lineups. So if we start with the first one, this one is gonna hit lamps. I've shown this one quite a lot before, but basically what you want to do is you want to get yourself on top of this like line in the table here. I don't know what it's called. And then all you have to do is aim for the corner of this wall like this. Shoot it, and this is gonna land here, which is basically gonna cause anybody who's holding this angle actively or even passively get taken by ult. Now moving over to B long, if you're very scared somebody's opping garden or holding it at least with an op, what you can do is you can get yourself in the middle of this fountain like this, aim for the line on the wall here. It doesn't really have to be precise. Shoot it, and this is gonna capture anybody who's holding it with an op. Very close garden, so like this, for example. All right, moving over to breeze. There's only really one ultimate lineup I use. Other than that, I just jump around and ult people. Basically, you stand in the green here like this. Doesn't really have to be precise. You're gonna aim for this white rectangle here, shoot it, and this is basically just gonna land backside / default. So anybody that's annoying and holding this will basically just kick cocoon by it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for breeze. All right, moving over to icebox. There's only really 2 ultimate lineups I use for icebox. The first one is for post plant on A side. So basically, tell your teammate to plant close to the edge of the bump site here. Then you're gonna move all the way back until you meet the edge of this like doorway here. Get into the corner of this like escalator thing here. I don't know what it's called. Then all you have to do is aim for the little like edge here on the roof and then shoot it. And that's gonna land behind here. So when they try to defuse it, that's when you ult, that's when you shoot it, and that's where it lands here, and then they get cocooned pretty much. All right, so for the next one, this one is also post plant, but then again, post plant ult lineups are actually pretty good if you know how to use them. So if you guys plant default, as like 99% of the player base do on Icebox B side. But yeah, basically what you want to do is you want to get on top of this box here like this, get into the edge of it. Then all you have to do is aim for the middle of this box right here, shoot it, and that's gonna hit anybody standing in default trying to defuse the spike. All right, moving over to Lotus. I don't really use ult lineups on Lotus, but I do have one thing that I do sometimes if I have the ultimate, which is I get on top of these stairs here. Then all you have to do is basically just aim in the middle of this wall right like this, and this is basically just gonna hit anybody standing stairs. Shoot it. Then anybody holding an operator here will basically just get cocooned and then kidnapped. Now, moving over to seaside, this isn't really a lineup, but it's still very useful to know because I use this all the time. So basically, if you're playing against the Killjoy, like you probably are on Lotus, he probably stands backside here, right? Because you don't really have a lot of utility to flush him out. So what you can do is you can basically just get on top of a mound here, aim off the wall, shoot it, and then anybody backside will be kidnapped, which basically means that they won't have a lot of utility to stop you as you probably kidnapped Killjoy, and then you just push in. Free seaside. Nice. All right, moving over to split. There's only really 2 lineups I use in split. So for the first one, this is basically just gonna hit anybody standing heaven over here. So you want to walk as close to this step here as you can. Then you just want to aim anywhere on the roof, honestly. Just make sure that it has enough range so that it actually goes down as well. Then shoot it like this. And then that's gonna hit anybody who's standing heaven here, holding with an op or holding with the vandal or anything, pretty much. Now, moving over to B side, this lineup here will hit anybody standing default. This is very good for post plant, and also if you want to get a quick early blood, because you know a lot of people like to stand default. Just looking with the camera, Cypher mains, I'm looking at you. But what you want to do is you want to walk and walk and walk until you can just about see the corner of this little box here. Aim for the red corner of it like this, shoot it, and that's gonna hit default. So anybody standing here will be cocooned. Nice. Let's move over to sunset. All right, moving over to sunset. If you go and plant the spike close to default like this, and then you go into like this big crack here, I don't know what it's called, but you get my idea. Just stand in like the corner of it like this. Then you see this box, aim like at the line here, move out until you hit the edge of it, so you hit the wall. Then all you have to do is shoot the ultimate like this. This will basically catch anybody who's standing close to this like little wall here on default. Now, moving over to mid, this isn't really a lineup, but it's still very useful. If they have an opper and you don't want to waste smoke on it, get onto this like stair here at the top stair, and then just aim at the little like arch here. Doesn't really have to be precise. Shoot it like this, and that's gonna hit anybody who's standing top mid like this. Now, moving over to B side, this isn't really a lineup, but if you're playing post plan on default, just get into the corner like this. Doesn't really have to be precise. Aim close to this like picture in the middle of the picture. Shoot it like that, and then anybody standing there will get cocooned. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all the ultimate lineups. Again, I don't really like using ultimate lineups. I prefer kind of just ulting on the fly because, again, like lineups are very situational, so you got to be careful when you're using it. So that's why I prefer using the ult a little bit more actively instead of passively with lineup, because you got to adapt to the enemy. If he's not standing default, for example, and he's pushing you instead, your lineup won't do shit, right? I would highly suggest just going into a custom game and just ulting around, seeing how the ult bounces off things, because then you can get really used to like using trigonometry, geometry, I don't really know, bounce it off objects and bounce it into where you actually want it to land, instead of having to rely on lineups and stuff that takes time to prepare. Granite lineups though, they're cool. I like Gravnet lineups. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be live on Twitch either the day you see this or tomorrow. I don't know what day it is for you guys. Love you all. Take care. Subscribe. Bye bye.